Hey there, Saints. This is Frank, and welcome to Awaken's Sermon Spark Notes. So this past week, I had the chance to have two of my older kids, Josiah and Talia, back home for spring break. And it was great being able to just kind of sit down and have conversations with them and just kind of talking to them just like a friend. And it was just really a special time. And yet, even during those conversations, I never forgot that I am their dad first. And it was just a great reminder that priority and order in the way we define our relationships with one another matters. And as if I'm dad first and I have that relationship with them, then being a friend feels to them like it's something special and precious. Whereas I understand if I'm just a friend and a buddy first, then if I tried to be dad and exert that parental authority, it would just feel awkward and inappropriate. And so order really does matter in relationship, and defining our role in relationship matters. And I share that because that's kind of what we covered over the course of this Sunday, going through the idea of king and his kingdom. God has established through the scriptures that he is king first. That is his primary relationship with us. And yet that is not necessarily how we tend to naturally relate to God first. Because if we understand God is king first, then our primary response must be obedience. If the king says something, we obey. But we tend to come at God from a different level. We tend to operate more relationally. So for some of us, we think of God more as friend. And if God is friend, then the most important thing about God is the way he supports us. If we think about God as shepherd, then if God is our shepherd first, then the most important thing about God is the way he cares for us and nurtures us. If God is servant first, then the most important thing about God is the ways he serves us. If God is priest first, then what's most important about God is the way we relate to him as holy and righteous and pure and lawful. If God is even father first, then what's most important about God is the way he loves us and cares for us. And all these things, it's not that they're not a part of God's nature, but they're all second or come underneath the fact that God is king first. And the reason why that's important is all those others, whether it's friend, shepherd, servant, priest, or father, all of those place us at the center of the relationship. And God says, we are not at the center of relationship, he is. And recognizing God as king first means God is sovereign. God is powerful, and God rules. And that should be where God is placed in our relationship with him. And if that is who God is, then our first and foremost response must always be obedience. And then we see the beauty of what God does in giving us the commands to obey is very much relationship centered. And so, Saints, I hope that you guys take the time to meditate on that, and even in your times with God, choose to prioritize understanding and knowing him as God first, and seeing how that will transform and change your relationship with him. I pray that you guys have an amazing week and are encouraged and refreshed. Take care. God bless.